If you're a faculty member developing technology or intellectual property at a university, you want to make sure that you keep in mind a few different issues before you move forward and set up your business entity. The information that I'm going to be providing you with is general information, but before you, as a faculty member, move forward with developing your business entity, you want to make sure you talk to your tech transfer office. Most universities have tech transfer offices that work with faculty members to help them commercialize their technology. And they can help you as a faculty member figure out whether your technology or invention is ready to be commercialized, as well as point you to particular resources that you can go to set up your business entity. So talk to your tech transfer office first. The other thing that you want to think about is you also want to understand the various conflict of interest policies that faculty are subject to. And if you're developing a technology you're going to turn into a business, you need to know if you will be subject to those conflict of interest policies. For example, at the University of Michigan, there are conflict of interest policies at the university level, at the school level. Also, there are policies at the state constitution level, in addition to other conflict of interest policies. So make sure you understand what those are before moving forward with developing your business. After you talk to the tech transfer office, if there is one at your university, and after you understand the various conflict of interest policies that you may be subject to, you want to understand that there are various circumstances that you may be subject to that prompt you to set up a business entity. These include if you have more than one founder or person that you're working with. If there's more than just you as the faculty member, you want to make sure that you set up a business entity and clearly describe the equity that you and the other person has in the company, equity being ownership interest in the company, so that there are no misunderstandings as to who owns what percentage of the company and who has equity in the company. You also want to set up a business entity if you're developing intellectual property and there's more than one person developing intellectual property in the company. And this is important because if you have more than one person developing IP, and you haven't set up a business entity, those different individuals own their intellectual property, and if it's not assigned to the company, they could take it with them if they decide they no longer want to be involved. Another circumstance that may prompt you to set up a business entity is if you think that you are going to be able to obtain venture capital financing, and it's pretty soon that you think you're going to be able to get this financing. You want to set up the entity soon because there are tax implications to receiving your equity and an investor receiving their equity and having the equity that the founder receives be valued lower than the investor's equity. The next circumstance is when you are considering hiring workers, whether they be independent contractors or employees. You want to make sure you set up a business entity so that when you enter into contracts with these individuals, you're not entering into the contracts with them as the individual faculty member, but the company would have the obligation to enter into the contract with the individuals and would be on the hook for any of the obligations of that contract. The final issue you want to think about when you are considering setting up your entity is whether you'll need to obtain visas for any individuals working with the company or who will be a part of the company. You will want to set up a company to ensure that the individual is able to get a particular visa, but you need to talk to an experienced immigration attorney about the details of that.